Sa kakaiwas na mga kababayan ni Sara Duterte na maimbestigahan ng National Bureau of Investigation kasi wala daw siyang tiwala, bias daw yung NBI, tapos yung DOJ, ang resulta mga kababayan, baka madagdagan pa yung mga kasong ipafile sa kanya, yung kanyang defiance. Pwede pala siyang kasuhan mga kababayan ng National Bureau of Investigation. Sa bagay, narinig natin sa interview kay NBI Director Jimmy Santiago na isang retired judge. Her silence anya condemns herself.
Nagpapagang mga balita at pagtalakay sa mga isyu ng lipunan. Pulsa, opinyon, banat at paglalantad sa katotohanan. Pulsa, what you see is what you get. You decide.
Ganon mga kababayan. Sabi po ni DOJ Secretary ay Yusek Jesse Andres, it is unfortunate anya na yung imbitasyon sa kanya ng National Bureau of Investigation, may reklamo siya nang sabi may death threat sa kanya. Yun na sana niya yung opportunity niya para masabi niya sa NBI kung sino ito na nagbabanta sa kanyang buhay. Kasama sana niya yon sa dapat naming maimbestigahan. Unang-una niya, yung kanyang security, wala man lang report sa police. Ito yung sinasabi ko mga kababayan, na malamang sa malamang, ang banta sa buhay ni Sara ay imagination man lang po niya para ma-justify yung kanyang pagbabanta sa ating Pangulong Bongbong. Nang sabi ni Sara, no regrets niya. Kaya sabi po ni Yusek Andres, BP Sara Duterte wrong to say DOJ is biased. Yan po mga kababayan si Justice Undersecretary Jesse Andres. Napakaganda mga kababayan ang kanyang paliwanag, and kalmadong-kalmado siya sa pagsagot sa interview mga kababayan ng mainstream media. Mamaya ibigay ko po sa inyo yung detalye at pag-usapan po natin. But before that, click subscribe muna dito sa ating YouTube channel and hit the notification bell para lagi po kayong updated sa mga kaganapan dito sa ating bansa. Like and share na rin po ninyo ng ating video. At huwag na rin po ninyo na skip yung ating mga commercial ads para tuloy-tuloy lang ang pag-unlad ng bagong Pilipinas. Balikan natin mga kababayan itong si Yusek Andres. Napakagaling na abogado po. Sabi ni Andres, hindi niya tama na sabihin na bias ang Department of Justice. Ang DOJ niya ay nakikinig sa panig ng ating Vice President at sa lahat ng posibleng ebidensya na ihain pati na rin ang iba pang testigo. Bibigyan siya ng full opportunity to be heard bago kami magkaroon ng evaluation at desisyon kung magpa-file man ng kaso. Sabi po ni Andres, yung subpena niya na in-issue ng NBI would allow her to explain her side regarding her pronouncement that she hired someone to kill the President, First Lady Lisa, at saka si Speaker Martin Romualdez if she is killed. Ang paliwanag po ni Andres, ito ay yung issuance na pinalabas ng NBI. Ang purpose niya ay para masiguro na mabigyan siya ng due process. Ngayon, sa statement ni Sara doon sa interview kahapon, kaya daw siya hindi mag-attend kasi bias yung NBI. Kinounter po ni Andres. Kasi sabi ni Sara, ang alter ego daw ng DOJ, ang NBI under the DOJ. Yung DOJ, alter ego ng ating Pangulo, ang Justice Secretary. Sabi po ni Andres, unang-unaan niya, ang ating Pangulo wala pong dinidikta sa amin at wala pong dinidikta ang kahit sino man. Sa katunayan niya, ang sabi ng ating Pangulo, hindi siya sang-ayon sa impeachment dahil sayang lang ang panahon kung ating gugulin sa impeachment. Sayang ang ating gugulin, hindi ko man gugugulin na panahon sa impeachment. So paliwanag po ni Yusek Andres, pag meron anyang ganyang sitwasyon at hindi kumilos ang ating prosecutorial arm at investigative arm, ang ating law enforcement agents, kasalanan po namin sa publiko yan. Because ang isang crime ay laging nakatuon sa concern sa public security. Paliwanag po niya, every crime niya is not just a concern of private offended party. Every crime disturbs the peace Because a criminal offense is a crime against society. That's why we have to do something. Yan ang problema po kay Sara. Nagsasabi siya na may threat sa kanya at kinundina pa niya yung PNP kasi wala daw alam. Wala man pong alam yung PNP. Unang-una, ang mali yung click subscribe muna dito sa ating YouTube channel and hit the notification bell para lagi po kayong updated sa mga kaganapan dito sa ating bansa. Like and share na rin po ninyo ang ating video. At huwag na rin po ninyo na skip yung ating mga commercial ads para tuloy-tuloy lang ang pag-unlad ng Bagong Pilipinas. Sa mga nagana po ng malinis and spacious fitness gym, pumunta lang po kayo sa aming Colossal Fitness Gym. We also offer Grab Car Rental with our brand new 2023 model ng Toyota Innova. We also accept booking for those who are planning to travel via PAL, Cebu Pacific, and other airline companies, local and international, and bills payment for Meralco Bills, Aleco Bills, PLDT, etc. Ang Colossal Fitness Gym is located at 3rd floor Security Bank Building, Lanco Business Park, Legazpi City, Albay. For inquiries, look for Gilon Maravillas, contact number 0966-802-0949. Yan po yung aming Innova. Lagi na pong matao sa amin. Yan po mga bagong clients namin. Napakaganda at colorful at napakalinis ng aming gym po. Pati mga foreigners po pumupunta sa amin, mga British tourist po sila dito sa Legazpi. Na-set up na rin po yung aming mga brand new gym equipment. May treadmill na rin po kami. Ito naman po yung bago naming product na binibenta online. Eye Glow Serum, whitening po siya. Tingnan ninyo yung epekto sa aking anak na architect before and now. Yung mga inquiries po ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa kanyang Facebook account, Riz Maravillas. Ito naman po, Firmax Firming and Lifting Cream, pinapahid po sa mga pulses in affected area. Mainam po sa paninigas ng mga kasukasuan. Ito naman po, Automax Radiant Serum. Sa mukha naman yung application, anti-aging po siya. You will look 10 years younger than your age. Sa mga cancer patients naman po, baka lang gusto ninyo itong itry. Neng siya red mixed fruit drink. Hindi mo po siya gamot, food supplement siya. Kaya lang, gawa siya mga kababayan sa goji berry. Yung goji berry may anti-cancer properties. O ngayon, yung mga inquiries ninyo, dumiretso na lang kayo sa aming messenger sa Facebook para masagot namin agad. Ayos pa? Ayos na ayosan niya, Mr. Maravilla. Security po ninyo, hindi nag-report sa PNP. Yun ang punto, mga kababayan ni Andres. May obligasyon, kaya sila sa NBI mag-iimbestiga kung totoong may threat sa kanya na naging rason kung bakit nagbanta siya na pag siya ay napatay at no regret siya sa kanyang statement, sabi niya kahapon. Kasi daw, yung kanyang kamatayan will not be in vain. So parte yon sa dapat na imbestigahan ng ating National Bureau of Investigation, pati ng PNP, kung totoo ayaw mag-cooperate ni Inday, ni Sara Duterte. O ngayon, ang akala siguro ni Sara, sa hindi niya pag-cooperate, makakasalba siya, maiiwasan niya ang kaso. Sabi po ni Andres, madadagdagan na niya yung kaso niya niyan. Ganun pala yun. Ayan o. Yung interview ng One News mga kababayan kay Secretary Andres. So lalo mga kababayan, nanganganak yung kakarapin na kaso, patong-patong na kaso ni Sara dahil sa kanyang katigasan ng ulo. Next week, ang sabi, isang religious group, yung third impeachment case, ipafile, sabi po ni Franz Castro. You see? O ngayon, dito sa kanyang defiance, malamang madagdagan pa yung kaso niya. Ito pa.
Yes, good evening everyone,
Yusek,
ladies and everyone in audience.
Yusek, let's go to the date. Vice President Sara not regretting what she said about the President, the First Lady, and cousin Martin Romualdez, and her non-appearance at the NBI, sending her lawyer, sinabi niya hindi naman required ito, yung kanyang appearance. Tama po ba yun? And what do you take from her statements?
Well, it's very unfortunate that the Vice President did not take advantage of the opportunity to express her side fully to the National Bureau of Investigation so that we can get, the compare. There were two matters that were supposed to be the subject of the investigation. And first and foremost was also the alleged complaint of the president that there were also threats on her life. The National Bureau of Investigation is also tasked to investigate this kind of matter, a national security matter that involves the life of the Vice President. So that exactly we set the investigation for two purposes. And the first one was really to get some of the alleged threats against the Vice President. Normally, there is a security officer assigned to the office of the Vice President, and this security officer should have registered a police blotter complaint regarding any
Wala pong ano. Kaya po, malamang sa malamang, yung threat sa buhay na sinasabi ni Sara na may gustong gumurgor sa kanya, napaka-imposible po. Gawa-gawa man lang po niya para may magamit siyang propaganda laban sa ating Pangulong Bongbong Marcos na gusto siyang ipagurgor. At ang ginamit, mga kababayan, yung security officer niya mismo na naka-assign. At ngayon, mga kababayan, dinajustify niya yon. Sinabi niya kahapon, wala na daw siyang tiwala sa armed forces. At yung kung papalitan ni General Browner, hindi na siya papayag. Hanggat sa alisin na lang lahat, may kinakausap na daw siya, mga kababayan, sa pamamagitan ng kanyang asawa na si Attorney Mansa Carpio na private agency, security agency, para yung mag-secure sa kanya. Yun ang sabi ni Sara. Ituloy natin, mga kababayan, yung interview ng One News.
any threat to the principal, to the Vice President. And as of this time, we are not aware of such a threat or a complaint in the police blotter
Wala man
with
blatter.
respect to threats on her. So the second matter that we were to investigate were her utterances that the threats that he gave on the life of the sitting president, the First Lady, and Speaker Martin Romualdez. So there is a legal compulsion for any person who is the subject of a subpoena coming from the National Bureau of Investigation to come and shed light on the matter under investigation. This is a compulsory legal process because
Compulsory.
the mandate or the charter of
Hindi niya pwedeng iwasan, mga kababayan. Pwede siyang makaso. Yan ang sabi ni Yusek Andres. May mandato yung National Bureau of Investigation. At gagawin ng National Bureau of Investigation po ang kanilang mandato. Kahit pa umiwas si Sara, ganon ang mangyayari, mga kababayan.
the National Bureau of Investigation empowers it to issue a subpoena with legal compulsion to attend. So that is also another possible criminal offense
Criminal
that the
offense.
Vice President would commit.
So, another criminal offense, ang defiance niya. So, nanganak yung mga kaso na ipafile sa kanya. Nakita ninyo? Lahat ito dahil sa kanyang kagagawan. Ituloy natin ang paliwanag ni Yusek Andres.
If she would not heed the subpoena, and apparently she has no intention whatsoever to heed the subpoena, as she
Madadagdagan pang kaso niya.
there is no need for her to attend the investigation, and he is just plainly denying everything. So it's unfortunate that this opportunity that the Vice President is being given to present her side is
So, binibigyan siya ng chance. Binibigyan siya ng due process. Pero ayaw niyang i-avail yung chance, yung due process, patuloy niyang ini-ignore, mga kababayan.
practically being waived.
Okay.
by the VP.
Okay, Yusek, let's dissect that into three issues. So the first is
Sure.
the threat versus her. The second is the threat that she made, right? And the third is, let's do the threat versus her. In a press conference earlier today, the Vice President did give a statement when asked by reporters, no, as to why she didn't report or supposedly did not report. Because she has been saying na dokumentado naman eh. All the threats against her have been documented. She even mentioned police blotters in the press con earlier. However, she did say that she doesn't trust the authorities. Now, what happens to that threat, right? So you can't investigate it because it's really not been reported to you guys. Supposedly, you're saying you haven't found the blotters either. She claims there is a blotter. So where does that go?
Walang
Let's get
blotter.
this out of the way because this is, I think,
Yeah,
the shorter
it
issue.
would be much easier if the Vice President would simply provide us with the earlier police blotter, because we are also taking our own effort to, get from the intelligence community.
So lumalabas po, gusto ni Sara na mag-imbestiga yung ating mga authorities, yung police, yung NBI sa threat sa kanyang buhay, pero ayaw man niya mag-cooperate. Basta gusto niyang magkwento. Ang gusto niya, paniwalaan yung threat laban sa kanya, pero ayaw man niyang mag-provide ng ebidensya na totoong may threat sa kanya. Wala ngang report sa police.
Any alleged threat against her life. So if there is a particular person, individual, or situation that may have caused a threat on her life, it would be much easier for the NBI to proceed with a follow-up
Tama.
investigation if she would give details. But I do not know why he is, very uncooperative on this aspect. It is a duty of the NBI.
Alam
From
na
the
po,
very
propaganda
beginning, I
man lang
was
niya.
saying, we will investigate and also protect the sitting Vice President because that is our mandate under the National Bureau of Investigation. You were also asking whether
Pagkatapos, sabihin niya, wala na siyang tiwala kahit kanino, pati sa armed forces. So, kanino na lang siya magtitiwala? Vice Presidente ka, wala kang tiwala sa armed forces. Wala kang tiwala sa lahat ng mga government agencies. Pagkatapos, sasabihin mo, gusto mo na kumuha ng private security. Ano yon? Mag-establish ka ng private army? Di ba? Tapos sasabihin niya, I don't know niya kung pwede na walang armas. Paano ka i-defend yung security mo, mga bodyguards mo, walang armas? Ano ang pang-raise back na yung mga security? Laway? Ganon katindi, mga kababayan, si Sara Duterte. Ituloy natin.
we can investigate this independent of her report. Yes, we are also taking our own effort, our own initiative, independent of her own complaint, to find out whether there are threats. And at the moment, we have not really determined any particular serious threat against the life of the Vice President,
Salamat.
as she is claiming.
Kwento man lang
The
niya.
second issue is the threat that she made. Isama yung third issue, which is
Yes.
her non-attendance or not showing up for the subpoena, the second subpoena. She also said in her press con earlier, no, that she does not expect fairness from your earlier pronouncements. Right after, that press con that she gave. I do recall this day, we also spoke to you right after that, the Yusek Jesse.
Bias
But
daw
she said
kasi.
that there have been biased pronouncements from both the palace as well as justice officials. So I'm guessing that goes out directly to you guys. Do you believe that these are biased? Kasi umakyat din yung, she also mentioned the anti-terror law. She says it's a plan to remove her from office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand where you're from, but we have to do our jobs in the Department of Justice.
Correct.
What are we trying to establish at that point in time? We had to issue a subpoena, and that subpoena should contain a particular offense that is
Tama.
the subject of the investigation. So we are not making any conclusion that she is already grave threats of the anti-terror law, or possibly sedition, or even obstruction of justice. But the subpoena is a necessary means to have the opportunity to explain her side on the possible charges. It has to be commenced in that manner. it is not an accusation, it is an information
Correct.
is being brought forth to the Vice President so that come investigation, she would know the details of the questions that will be forthcoming. So we are not accusing her, we are not making a conclusion that she is already guilty of grave threats
Correct.
or of the violation of the anti-terror law. But in our public interviews, we have informed the citizenry, those who like people like you, so that you would be able to understand what are the possibilities of a violation of the anti-terror law. So
Correct.
if all of this theoretical this will be substantiated by actual evidence after the investigation, then due process is served. But for us to question, we always end it by saying, but nonetheless, we will give the Vice President the full opportunity to present her side, and we will
Due
also
process
gather
po.
evidence, both incriminating, possibly incriminating, or exculpating in the course of the investigation. So it is not a closed book. It is the matter of due process that we are trying to ensure. But for due process to be afforded, the accused or the respondent, we have to name a particular offense.
Tama.
So that he would be prepared to answer the potential charges. So it is unfair that the Department of Justice or law enforcement agents are already being prejudged by the Vice President. It is better for public officials to trust in the system. People are emulating her. People are looking up to her
Tama.
to follow the rule of law.
Correct.
And for her to totally disregard a subpoena, a valid subpoena, which is intended also for her own benefit, and to afford her due process is really a disservice to everyone.
Correct.
It's unfortunate, but we will still deal with it, and we will be able to conclude our investigation, whether or not she voluntarily cooperates or not.
Yusek, actually last November...
So, tuloy pa rin, mga kababayan. Mag-cooperate siya, hindi siya mag-cooperate, kakasuhan siya. Pag nabuo, mga kababayan, yung kaso, di bala na po, gugulong ng hustisya. Bala na siya mag-defend ng kanyang sarili sa husgado. Lahat ng magagather po ng mga information ng NBI sa kanilang investigation, mag-cooperate man siya, hindi mag-cooperate, ipa-file sa kanya po. Kasi siyempre, yung National Bureau of Investigation, nag-interview na rin po ng mga other personalities. Inimbita na po si Trixie Cruz Angeles na kasama doon sa virtual press con kung saan nagpaulan ng pagmumura at pagbabanta si Sara Duterte. Pati yung mga reporters po ng ABS-CBN na imbita na rin po, nagbigay na ng testimony para masiguro na talagang authentic. Binalidate na rin po yung video, pinapreserve mga kababayan sa Facebook. Wala pong takas, mga kababayan, si Sara Duterte. Lahat ito kagagawan niya dahil sa walang habas na pagsasalita at walang kontrol na emosyon. Hanggang ngayon po, yan ang ginagawa niya. Nakabantay yung ating mga authorities sa lahat ng mga bibitawan niyang salita. Na-discuss po rito ni Andres. Tuloy natin.
November 29, the Vice President sent a letter to the NBI through her lawyers where she requested a few things. One is to provide her with questions in advance so that she can make an informed decision, and two, provide her also with other documents that initiated this investigation. Yusek, did the NBI end up at request of the Vice President? And if yes, is this something that the NBI usually does, or was it done out of courtesy?
To put it in proper perspective, a respondent is not normally entitled to anything. He's not entitled to
Brati
an
nila
advance
talaga.
copy of questions.
Gusto niya, special siya.
Purposely, the investigation is intended to anybody. If we provide the advance questions to a high-ranking official, then we have to do it to everyone who undergoes an NBI investigation.
Correct.
It's not the normal process. We have to do it in the usual process, which is you come there, accompanied by your own lawyer, and when we will propound questions, and you may answer. But the point is, you have to respect the power of the NBI.
Correct.
In its authority to issue a subpoena.
Kinakamote
with
yung
legal
NBI
compulsion
po?
to attend, because that is the rule of law.
Yusek,
We have to show some, respect to legal processes.
Yes.
Especially for public officials, because people are looking at the process, and normal people are doing it. And we cannot allow a special treatment for the Vice President in this regard.
Yusek, speaking of legal processes, you said
Yes.
in the past that the ombudsman had the authority to discipline and investigate government officials in the context of VP Sara's alleged. And
Yes.
sinagot po kayo ng ombudsman ni Samuel
Yes.
Martirez. Sinabi po niya that you should shut up. Yun po ang kanyang words.
Yeah.
And said he does not see any valid...
Tapos sabi pala ni JC Andres, importante ang niyang personal na ma-interview yung tao kasi kailangan na makita ng investigador kung talagang nagsasabi ng totoo yung inaakusa. Kasama yun sa teknik na ginagamit ng mga investigador. Kasi yung investigador po, ang sadya niya, makuha yung totoo, hindi yung gawa-gawang kwento. Ang gusto ni Sara, may advance question kasi ang sasagot po yung mga abogado niya. Ganon mga kababayan ang gusto ni Sara Duterte. Hindi niya yan maaari, sabi ni Yusek Andres. Hindi makukuha po ang totoo pag ganyan. Pati nga po sa Congress, ganun ang ginagawa. Kaya pinapasupena. Pag hindi po mag-attend, ikukontempt, ikukulong. Buti nga siya hindi kinulong. Pero dito, mga kababayan, malamang makulong si Sara. No one is to be blamed kundi yung kanyang sarili po. Matigas ang ulo, mga kababayan.
grounds yet
Yeah.
to investigate the Vice President on anti-graft and corrupt practices as well as revised penal code offenses which is related to
Okay.
this threat.
Thank you for providing me the avenue to clear that. I made a very general statement that the ombudsman may act on the matter as well because it has broad powers to investigate high-ranking officials. I never said that the vice president can be suspended, ombudsman. I only said he can act on it, investigate, and in fact, there is a specific provision in the law, in the ombudsman law, that the investigation can lead to a fact-finding, and even the ombudsman can initiate an impeachment complaint if warranted. So it's just a general statement. And with respect to the graft law, the anti-graft law, RA 3019, definitely the ombudsman has power to investigate because public officials that would violate the anti-graft law will be investigated by the ombudsman. Eventually, it can be filed with the Sandigan Bayan, and
But
that is the
to take
primary
over.
jurisdiction of the ombudsman.
But to take
So
over
I
the
am just
investigation.
opening up that possibility, but I am not compelling anyone to act in any way because we have our own jurisdiction. So if in their perception it is not yet ready for them to come in, it's their decision. I'm just saying I was asked a general question. Can the ombudsman also act on this? Yes, the ombudsman can act on it. So if they can investigate and they can proceed the deemed fit. That's why I was surprised why my statement was misinterpreted because I'm not asking anybody to act. I'm just saying can possibly investigate and act on it if they deem it proper based on their own evaluation.
Pero
Okay, thank you
Yusek,
for clearing that up.
pwede mag-take over yung ombudsman.
Yung ombudsman kasi po, appointee ni Digong. Gustong i-take over po yung kaso laban sa Vice Presidente. Sabi ni JC Andres, DOJ Secretary JC Andres, hindi niya maaari, criminal offense niya ito na kinasasangkutan ni Sara.
Kasi sinabi niya pwede daw siya mag-take
No,
over.
that's why I wanted to make that.
Okay.
In response to that statement, I said that the Department of Justice will stand up to proceed with the investigation because this is not a matter committed by a public official in the performance of official functions. The grave threats is a personal act.
Personal
It's not
act.
in relation to her being a public official.
Right.
Only the
you know that-
matters referring to the misuse of public funds is an area that falls within the 3019 or the anti-graft law.
Yusek,
With respect to the anti-terror
Yung pananakot niya, wala man kinalaman sa trabaho niya bilang vice presidente. That is the jurisdiction of the Department of Justice. Yun ang punto, ang pinapaliwanag ni JC Andres. Kaya kinontra yung statement ni Martires.
terror law, no. The ombudsman cannot take over. And with respect to the grave threats and sedition, the DOJ has jurisdiction.
Ayun.
Thanks for clearing that up, Yusek. Actually, that's what I
Malinaw.
wanted to talk to you about, yung threat, no? Like you mentioned, and like the Vice President insists, it is of a personal nature. I think that was her argument kanina, no? Kung bakit
Yung corruption, pwede yon. Pwedeng i-take over ng ombudsman. Pero yung grave threat po, na sinasabi ni Sara, hindi man niya grave threat yon. Not for you to say. Sa'yo, hindi grave threat yon. Pero sa definition ng batas at ang magsasabi niya, ng magsisintensya niya, yung husgado. Harapin mo sa husgado. Kung paboran ka, di okay. Yan, posisyon mo yan. Di ba?
bakit hindi daw siya grave threat? So bakit daw tinatawag siya na grave threat? Right? I understood your explanation kanina that that's why you're calling her for explain live kung bakit hindi siya grave threat. But as it is, she did not show up, and as it is, she sent a letter. Now, what I wanted to find out with certainty, Yusek, no? First of all,
Yes.
itong do we separate it from the identity of an affidavit? So it's a letter, not an affidavit? Or is it both? Kind of like both? Or
As I understand, it is
Yeah.
just a letter. So it is not an affidavit.
okay?
She has the opportunity if she wants to present a sworn statement, and that would be most appreciated by the NBI because we want to hear her side. We don't want to limit our evaluation on the basis of just the investigators coming from the NBI and other law enforcement agents to gather all the facts. The facts or the narration, the VP, is something that we need so that we can put in proper perspective statements. But otherwise, we will still proceed with the investigation and make our own evaluation based on the literal
Tuloy ang
translation
investigasyon.
and understanding of the utterances of the Vice President. Grave threats is so easy to prove because it doesn't matter whether you are bluffing or not. The fact is, if you give a threat to an individual of harm to him, his property, or the family, that already consummates the crime of grave threat. The anti-terror law also
Correct.
is being looked at because it is a very broad law where a threat to the life of a public official, when it is
Yeah.
being done to sow fear or intimidation, can already be punishable even if it is not actually done. The mere proposal to commit those acts of threats
Binaw ni Sara sarili
or a
niya.
conspiracy to do these acts of terror, even if the actual terrorism is not done, is already punishable.
Okay.
Because that is
Labas
how
niya,
broad
Sara,
and
terorista.
strong this law is. Because it is intended to protect the entire population,
Correct.
the citizenry, the society. Terrorism can exterminate a whole community. That is why the government should have the ability to prevent such large-scale or dangerous occurrences that will threaten lives of communities. That is what is being intended. So even a mere
Kahit tinian niya natuloy, plano pa lang, punishable na under the anti-terror law na naipasa, pinirma ng tatay niya. Yun ang masaklap mga kababayan. Si Sara ang masasampula ng batas na pinirma ng kanyang tatay. Anti-terror law. Ang nilabag ni Sara sa pag-threaten na ipa-assassinate yung ating Pangulong Bongbong, si Lisa Marcos at si Martin Romualdez. Ganon katindi ang nakomit na pagkakamali ni Sara dahil sa init ng kanyang ulo.
proposal is already punishable.
Proposal
That is why
pa
we're
lang.
saying, with enough evidence based on due process, we are looking at this as a possible charge. But we are not precluded from, not filing or filing but we will base it all on the evidence because we have changed the rules in the Department of Justice now. It is no longer probable cause the possession of evidence that can engender a probability of guilt. No, our higher threshold of evidence now is prima facie evidence with reasonable certainty of conviction. So it is not a flimsy evidence, it's not a amount of evidence. It is convincing evidence that will warrant a conviction in court. That is the kind of evidence that we need to gather before we file a case in court.
You said
And
what
we
happens
are
now,
doing that.
right? You said what happens now. Pretty much we're cut and dried with today 2 subpoenas snubbed. What happens now? Does the NBI proceed to investigate and refer it to you guys pag may charges na with all the prima facie evidence? What are the
Yeah.
difference? How many scenarios are we looking at here?
Yeah. There is a principle in constitutional law that you have the right to remain silent, you have the right against self-incrimination. But the government and the law enforcement agents are not helpless in gathering evidence.
Tutulayan
We can
siya.
apply to the courts for a cyber warrant, a warrant
Kahit umiwas siya,
for
tutugisin
more
siya.
information. We can subpoena more people. We can investigate previous acts committed in the past. There are many things in the past that are covered by media. The previous
So madaling sabi mga kababayan, ang mangyayari sa kanya, kahit umiwas siyang umiwas tulad ni Apollo Quiboloy, di ba yun si ano? Iwas ng iwas, ganun pa rin. Nang lumabas yung na-file yung kaso, lumabas yung warrant of arrest, tinugi siya mga kababayan ng ating mga authorities. Malamang sa malamang ang tutugi sa kanya. Pero sabi niya, hindi daw siya tatakas. Wala siyang plano na umalis ng bansa kasi yung anak niya daw, kung siya halimbawa ma-detain, gusto niya dito lang para mabisita din siya ng kanyang anak. Yan ang sabi ni Sara sa kanyang interview. Parang pinangungunahan niya yung kanyang kapalaran. Parang alam na niya, mga kababayan, yung kanyang kahihinatnan. Di ba? Pero hindi man tayo naniniwala sa statement niya na hindi siya tatakas. Malamang humingi siya mga kababayan ng asylum. Political asylum kay Xi Jinping. Ganon mga kababayan, nagre-ready na sila. Kasi siyempre, hindi papayag yung ating gobyerno. Kakamutihin lang ni Sara Duterte at palalampasin yung kanyang pagbabanta. Mawawala ng respeto sa ating mga authorities ang mga ordinaryong mga mamamayang Pilipino pag ganon. Walang ginawa ang ating mga authorities. Tuloy natin.
previous utterances of the Vice President are all evidence that can be used in this investigation. We have to put the
Lahat ng utterances, kaya kasama itong utterances niya kahapon sa press con niya. Sabi natin, more talk, more mistakes. No talk, no mistake. Kung tumigil na sana siya sa kaka-press con, ayaw tumigil, o di sige, magpa-press con ka araw-araw. Naka-monitor. Recorded lahat. Naka-monitor yung ating mga authorities. Yan sinasabi dito ni Yusek Andres.
entire context. If it is a sedition matter, it is not an isolated snapshot. It has to be a public and tumultuous act that affects security. So it is not just the statement given during the conference where the Vice President made threats on the life, and then the First Lady and the Speaker of the House. There are so many other statements that you can take in to put the correct context of that last statement.
Yusek,
So
bilang panghuli,
that taken together will be the evidence in chief.
Yusek,
Iipunin nila po lahat ng utterances.
The one threatened here is the president. What if he does not want anybody to pursue this anymore? Because he says this is a waste of time. Is there no case?
Impeachment
As I
yun,
understand,
ang ayaw.
the President was referring to the impeachment
Correct.
process.
Hindi man yung criminal
But
offense.
what if ayaw na po niyang i-pursue yan?
In every criminal offense, there is a public interest involved because the criminal laws actually protect the public, not just the private offended party. So
Correct. Kaya nga po, sa criminal case, people of the Philippines, you see, Ito yung punto pinapaliwanag ni Yusek Andres.
There are three possible private offended parties: the President, the First Lady, and the Speaker of the House. They can be complainants. They can, decline to participate, and that would, not proceed to engender sufficient evidence for a conviction. And that is probably a reason where the courts can acquit the accused if they will not participate in the trial itself. But
All right.
the job of the Department of Justice now first is to determine whether a charge should be filed in court. Whether or not they will participate in the eventual court proceedings as witnesses would be a different matter. So it is possible that the court will not find the accused guilty because there is not sufficient evidence.
Malabo na hindi mag-participate po. Possibly, baka pa yung ating Pangulong Bongbong, kasi sabi ng ating Pangulo, never say never. Pero si Lisa Marcos, tapos si Martin Romualdez, na ayaw niyang tantanan. Kahapon, binakbakan na naman po. Hindi matunawan. Si Sara Duterte, lagi niyang sinasabi, may plano. Si Martin Romualdez na magpresidente, anong paki mo? Kung halimbawa may plano. Alam ko niya kasi narinig ko niya. Sabi ni Sara, ano nga ang paki mo? Dahil ba sa plano? Kaya ito ginagawa mo? Pinagbantaan mong ipapapatay? You see? On the premise na may banta kasi sa iyong buhay at pinaginalaan mo sila yung nasa likod. Pero hindi mo man pinablatter. Basta ang sabi mo, sila lahat na niya gusto akong ipagurgol. You see, mga kababayan? Tapos, gusto mag-imbestiga yung NBI, ayaw makipag-cooperate, ayaw matanong, mga kababayan.
And that is when, desistance is resorted to, yung affidavit of desistance, so that the court will have a basis to dismiss the charges.
Yan, kung hindi mag-participate, yung agrabyadong partido, yung ating Pangulo, si Lisa Marcos, pati si Martin Romualdez. So, si Sara at the mercy, mga kababayan ngayon, ng ating Pangulo. Tama po, mga kababayan. Ulitin natin, ang lahat ng problema na kinasadlakan ni Sara, lahat ng kaso na kanyang kakarapin, including the impeachment cases po, na next week, may third impeachment na pa-file sa kanya. Lahat ito dahil sa kanyang kagagawan. Kasalanan niya ito lahat. Pero sabi pa ni Sara, no regrets niya sa aking pagbabanta. Kasi niya, mabuti na yon. Ang aking kamatayan will not be in vain. Pinanindigan talaga yung threat sa kanyang buhay. Pero ayaw niyang mag-imbestiga yung NBI. Ayaw mag-cooperate po, mga kababayan, para matanong kung totoo.